Hey, welcome to the livelovefest.com broadcast where we're going to be talking about the context of promoting the musician, live and online. We all know that live events have moved virtually. So we're going to be interviewing some of the top people in the industry to discuss how could these virtual live events be brought through digital technology so that the artist can be celebrated. Our theme is celebrating the artist. And I'd like to introduce my friend in the United Kingdom who is going to be sharing with you the context of these broadcasts. Take it away, my friend.
All right. So I'm going to talk about five things, just five things tonight. These are the beginning of the conversation that never ends. This is the intro to the conversation that never ends. There's a part of the conversation that never ends that happens inside you. And there's another part of the conversation that happens outside you with one other being. And then there's a conversation that's outside you that's with two or more other beings. And then it moves up to one on one, one on two, one on more, one on more, one on more. And eventually it gets to one on all. So you're speaking and the whole world is watching and listening. 8 billion, 10 billion people watching and listening in their mother tongue. So you're speaking English, they're hearing in their mother tongue what you're saying. And that's technology between you and the listener, technology between you and the speaker, technology between you and the holographically, digitally resurrected participant. And we'll get more into that in future conversations. But right now, I just want you to get basics. Basics. Everything starts with basics. Jim Rohn taught me, master the basics, the rest will come naturally. So the very first basic is there is no value in speaking if there's nobody listening. There's no value in speaking if there's nobody listening. So the first person that needs to be listening if you're speaking is you must listen to yourself speaking. What is suggestology and why do I want to start with that as the first basic? Because suggestology is the art and science of asking questions of yourself and then others. So it's the art and the science of asking questions of yourself and then others. And then when you're masterful at that level, you go to the next level, which is and making suggestions inside of your questions to yourself, and then making suggestions inside of your questions to yourself and other or others. Now, watch closely, listen very carefully, and think deeply. What did I just say?
Watch closely.
Listen carefully and think deeply.
Yeah.
And think deeply.
And think deeply.
Watch closely. Number one, watch closely. Number two, listen carefully. And number three, think deeply. That's pre-framing what I want you to do in the next thing, the next exercise. You need to watch really closely, think really deeply, and exactly, you see, I got you again because I altered the order the second and last time. So it's watch closely, listen carefully, think deeply. Watch closely, listen carefully, think deeply. Watch closely, listen carefully, and think deeply. Clear?
Watch closely.
Listen carefully. And think
deeply.
Now, did you see I actually did movements with my finger to my ear, to my eye, and to my brain? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now, when you do it with both hands, it starts to get more clear because you have the whole crowd doing the same thing. As simple as that is, watch closely, listen carefully, and think deeply. Now you got 100% of the people in the crowd proactively taking action that's easy to replicate. It's like dance moves. Clear?
Clear.
All right. But I'm prepping them for much more advanced and sophisticated stuff later down the day or the conversation. Okay. Now, this thing I'm about to teach, this conversation for these people that get the privilege of being live on the call or pre-recorded replayable and can watch this, are going to start to understand how you become the top producer in the world, the most valued consultant in the world, the person who can solve any problem in any individual or group of people in any amount of time in the most elegant and efficient and graceful way.
Yeah, I do. And that find engine is dual. It's not just finding information, it's also finding yourself. Because as you utilize our Earth Grid tools, you're actually on a journey of self-discovery and finding how to articulate, how to categorize, how to identify what it is that you've created and communicate it in the most effective manner to other human beings around Spaceship Earth. And that's really what our mission is. So the finding engine is not just about search. Finding is about your heart. It's finding yourself. Once you find yourself in your heart, then you can use our tools to express that, and it brings about a change in your perspective. And it also massively and exponentially can increase the reach in which you are able to communicate with others. Complete.
Excellent, perfect, thank you. Did I just say excellent, perfect, thank you, Victor?
Excellent, perfect, thank you.
Did I just say excellent, perfect, thank you, Victor?
Excellent, perfect, thank you.
Excellent, perfect, thank you, Victor. And did I just say excellent, perfect, thank you, Kat?
Excellent, perfect, thank you.
And did I say excellent, perfect, thank you, David?
Yes, you did. You said excellent, perfect, thank you.
Excellent, perfect, thank you. So what I just did was get three replications, and I confirmed, not assumed, that you both heard it and could recreate it. Victor could recreate it, Kat could recreate it, and David could recreate it. That's the second thing you have to learn in suggestology is recreation. Because if you didn't hear it, you can't recreate it.
I like the double meaning because it's recreation. It's also recreation, which is, throwing footballs and soccer balls and hanging out in swimming pools. And so the two words are perfect. I love that. It hits my highest value, which is fun.
Anybody think I was listening to you for 20 years to get to this one conversation that starts the ball rolling down the hill instead of you pushing it up the hill? Because you see, pushing your ball up the hill was hard work. That's why you can't see anybody pushing 1,000 balls up to the top of the hill. And you've seen Tony Robbins and maybe some other people like T. Harv Eker, another guy you probably know is a guy called Grant Cardone, who have a conference room, a video conference room with Zoom that allows them to take little rooms of 100, clip them together in a board like you have of 9 images, but each image has 100 people in it, and they're clipped together in 9, and then those are blocked with other 9s. So you get 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion, 10 billion, and ultimately 100 billion. Live and interactive, simultaneous connections managed using one thing scaled. Do you love scaling?
I do.
How did I know that?
Because that's in my mission statement.
And because you have shared it with me in the past, and I was actually listening to what you said, being interested, not interesting. And I've been listening to you for 20 years, watching what you saw me see and heard me hear, and then what you didn't know I was watching and hearing, because I also did due diligence and research when you didn't think I was around or when you thought I was gone and demised and past, okay? But here I am, listening and speaking with you one more time, but this time we're going after the gold and the goal, the gold medal and the goal, which is completing Earth Grid Upgraded so every human being knows what it is, why and how to use it, and demands it over everything else out there, because we're going to obsolete all other systems to have them want the find engine and demand the find engine. And the way you create that result is you have problem, reaction, solution. Is there any problems in the world right now?
There are a lot of problems in the world right now. And the biggest one I find is that no one knows what information they can trust.
Exactly. So they have a lack of discernment and they don't know whether it's truth or lies, fact or fiction. And they're drowning in information while they're starving for wisdom and discernment. And if we had a discernment engine, a wisdom engine, in a find engine that allowed you to distinguish between fact and fiction, truth and lies, and it did this in a way that you could guarantee that you weren't being hoodwinked and misrepresented and distorted, and you weren't getting information that was disguised and cloaked to be something that it isn't. Now you would build synergy on a foundation of trust, mutual trust, respect, mutual respect. And then you'd have the base requirements for a movement that would last forever, far greater than the Bible and Jesus and all those conversations. So the next subject in this conversation is called writing a book that is an audio book in 55 minutes or less, which, by the way, at the end of this recording, this will be an audio book. You get that, right, Victor?
Yeah.
This audio book will be free of charge for the first 7 days, and then we'll charge for it. Clear?
Clear.
This audio book will charge the first 7 days, it'll be free. The second 7 days, it'll be £100, plus you've got to donate £11.11, so it'll be 111.11. After the first week of it being £100 and then 111.11, it will cost you an extra 1,000 plus the 100 plus 111 to get the course that comes with this book. Do you understand? But if you opt in and listen for free, or you opt in and listen for the smallest fee, you'll get the course because you acted early. You want to reward early adapters, early adopters that take first mover advantage. They take advantage of moving first, not waiting for the sheeple and the crowd. They go in and start ahead of the game, take a little risk, take a little reward, take a little remuneration, and start to play where they're at risk in the matter. It's not just me sharing, but they're actually taking a risk to participate in learning why and how to share this with others. Clear?
Clear.
Now, high-end people are looking to build a brand. Have you built any brands, Victor?
I've built about a dozen brands.
Okay, and which is the most valuable and successful?
At the present time, it's SociSnap.
Excellent. And what was it before that?
Well, it was the one that we built before that was called Search Triggers.
Search Triggers. And what was the one before that?
That was EarthGrid.
Okay, that's the one I'm going to focus on, EarthGrid.
And there was one before that, which was actually called Digital Synergy.
Yes, which I really loved, by the way, Digital Synergy. Was there one before that?
I think, well, there was one in between, which was Live Earth.
Live Earth, okay.
That was in the
middle.
middle.
You still have Live Earth, and you still have Digital Synergy, you still have EarthGrid, and you still have the other two, which is SociSnap, and you still have
And I just started a new one, which is called Build Our Dreams. And the vision behind Build Our Dreams is most people think, oh yeah, I'm going to build your dreams. And everyone asks me, they want me to, hey, Vic, could you build us a website? Hey, could you help us with our business? Hey, could you do this for us? Could you do this for us? Could you do this for us? And I distinguish that. I say, you know what? No, I can't do that for you. However, instead of me building your dreams and asking me to build your dreams for you, how about we build our dreams? So that's why I came up with buildourdreams.com. So that's the newest brand that I just been
Very good.
toying with.
Now, Victor, I'm going to switch gears.
And I have several piano brands. I have Piano Alchemist, and the newest one was actually birthed a few days ago, which is called Piano Mandala.
Perfect.
And what I'm doing there is I'm actually running my music, my piano music, through a signal processor that produces these beautiful multicolored mandalas from the piano music.
Imagine, just imagine, you've heard the song Imagine. Imagine is the name of a book. It's called Imagine, okay? But what are you imagining? You're imagining a world. So what are you imagining? You're imagining a world, not just the world that we're in and that we've been in the past. You're imagining a world that is a new world, an optimal world, a new, better forever for everyone world. And to imagineer that, you have to have some kind of visioneering capacity. You have the ability to create something in your mind that is not yet so in reality. And I've been practicing that skill. We call it visualize, optimize, actualize. So visualize, optimize, actualize. Clear? You visualize in your imagination, then you optimize in cyberspace, and then you 3D print out in various ways in actual physical space what you want to deliver. Okay, and that could be an audio, a video, a text file. It could be something much more complex. Okay, but it starts with visualize, then optimize, and then actualize, because you don't want to replicate 10 billion widgets that are 3 inches long when you need one that's 4 inches long, because that'd be, you know, wasted production. So you want to make sure that what you're creating, visualize, is actually optimal before you actualize it. Otherwise, you're making major errors in judgment and things aren't going to work out. Now, here's where it gets exciting. The last 2 minutes. If we wrote this book as an introduction to what we're doing as an audio book, and we give it away for a week for free, then a week for a fee, and then a week for VIP only, people have upgraded to VIP who are participating in co-creating in a synergy system, an engine, a creativity incubator, where we're building collaboratively the way we talked about earlier on today in the triangles of I reference somebody who is a new indie artist, who references somebody who is a very well-known artist, who references back the person who started. That little triangle, that synergy cycle, that circle, that synergy cycle is actually going to create something, an engine that is a free energy system from various points of view. And we'll get more into that on the next conversation for those of you that have upgraded or early adopters, first mover advantage. Now, when you make an offer to the marketplace, it has to have 5 elements. The first one is it has to be an irresistibly attractive offer. So you have to have an irresistibly attractive offer. The second is a compelling value proposition. So it has to be an irresistibly attractive offer with a compelling value proposition. The third thing is it must have a risk reversal guarantee. So it must have an irresistibly attractive offer, compelling value proposition, and a risk reversal guarantee. The fourth thing, which is very, very important, the fourth thing, is that there must be an immediate sense of urgency. And then the fifth thing, the thumb, is what's called an instant call to action. Okay? And if you have all these 5 in any offer, it will be snapped up and you won't be able to keep up with the momentum unless you have these engines that we built. So we're at completion time here. Victor, to register for this conversation, what do they need to do to register to get this conversation and get an audio copy of this conversation for themselves to listen to and share? Because if they share, they get rewarded for action. We reward take action now. People who take action now, we reward them by giving them more value. So if they take this audio and they listen to it and demonstrate they've listened to it, and then they share it and get others to demonstrate they've listened to it, we're going to recognize, reward, and remunerate them in ways that they've never been recognized, rewarded, and remunerated. You wanted to say something, Victor, in closing?
Yeah, I was going to suggest that everyone click the link below in the description, which is very simple. It's the word live, then love, and then fest, as in festival, livelovefest.com. And I was going to show you the new registration system that we have built at EarthGrid, and it will plug you directly in. And let me show you how simple it is. So you go to livelovefest.com, celebrate the artist. You enter your best email here, and then you click Get Instant Access. So I'm going to enter one of my emails, or this could be your Apple ID. Okay. Then the thing spins. Now you're registered. That's it. Now, if you want to have instant access to the members area, now members area requires a username and a password. EarthGrid, since its beginnings in 2002, it was never based on the idea of email address, because email addresses change over time, but your username stays with you as long as you want to keep it. So what we did for now is we have YouTube one-click. So all you do is you first sign into your YouTube channel. And this right here is going to be updated this week. My team is already working on it. One click with Apple, an Apple ID, It'll bring you right in. But let me demonstrate YouTube because it works right now. You click one click, boom, you're immediately inside the dashboard. And right over here will be a video, and there will be additional links here on the side with additional trainings and programs and replays. And if you're on a mobile device, you can also access all this content. Now, what's most important is this link that says share this link. This is a unique tracking link for you in the EarthGrid universe. And all you do is copy and paste it. It's going to change from time to time, but you can copy and paste this one link. It will always track back to you. And the people that refer the most people, we will bring them in on camera and allow them to participate inside of our next live event. Because one of the things we thought about is we have a lot of resources. We have YouTube channels with traffic. We have SEO knowledge, search engine optimization knowledge. We have multiple six figures in email addresses that we could mail. And as we start ramping this stuff up, we want to bring a number of people with us. And so because of that, we want to see who is the most ambitious, who's able to share, who's able to put the word out there as much as they can. And we want to reward you by bringing you into this conversation. We can tack you on to the end of one of our videos and allow your channel to start growing. I'm also going to stick some additional trainings on YouTube in there that I've been recording, that if you're just getting started with YouTube, you can get through that first milestone where you actually can start to generate something inside the YouTube platform. Same thing with Facebook. I have an extensive Facebook training and also email. Because email, even though it's the bane of my existence, it's still what the world operates on until we invent a new standard. And that's something that we've been working on for better part of 20 years, is a replacement for email that is not just unidirectional. Let me leave you with this one thought. When we send 1 million people one email message, chances are they're not going to get it. Why won't they get it? Because you're sending 1 million copies of a message. EarthGrid's position is like this. You create the message inside of our environment, and those people simply are pointed to one message. So there's only one message with 1 million pointers rather than 1 million copies going out there cluttering up the internet and causing things to shake down. Every element of the EarthGrid platform is built around this concept of synergy, which originates from the thinking and synergetics of Buckminster Fuller. So that's a deep thought. So I think, let me see if I got those 3 right. Listen to what I'm saying. What was it? Listen carefully.
Think deeply.
Think deeply. No, that was the 3rd one, wasn't it?
It's okay. It doesn't matter what order they're in. It's that you get them all 3. Watch closely. So watch closely, listen carefully, think deeply, or think deeply, watch closely, listen carefully, or think deeply, listen carefully, watch closely. Because a magician does things and you don't notice what they did until after. Okay. But mark my words, we're wizards and magicians and we're about to take the world by storm. David, any closing remarks?
Yes, can you repeat, you said there was 5 things: irresistible offer, a compelling value. I missed the 2. The 2.
I know, that's because I go very fast on the most valuable things. So you have to come to the replay and pay attention next time, but that's okay. So they are irresistibly attractive offer, compelling value proposition, risk reversal guarantee, immediate sense of urgency, and instant call to action. Immediate sense of urgency and instant call to action. Immediate sense of urgency and instant call to action. Now, I'm going to teach you why and how to use those 5 on the next call for those of you that qualify for that. If you've listened to this call in the first 7 days, you'll be invited to this kind of call for the second 7 days, because we're going to do this, but at a higher level in 7 days from now, okay? I want to thank you for your total, full, and complete attention this afternoon, or this evening, or this morning, depending on what time zone you're in. I want to thank you for those of you listening to the recorded replay and the audio book that it is. Thanks for joining us. Victor, I'm done.